So there's been a lot of the Nelson Peltz stuff with this proxy war. I've enjoyed it all. It's good fun. Nelson Peltz is now insisting that his fight is with Disney, not Bob Iger. All right then. All right. And also has come out and criticized Disney's woke films as well. Which this is the gift that keeps on giving. I've been enjoying all of this stuff. It's infinitely funny. So basically, Nelson Peltz said yesterday in an interview, says it's not about Bob. It's not about Mr. Iger, nor is it a referendum about his leadership. Even though apparently this is the other thing, which is quite funny. So it's like we says one thing, does the other. CNBC reported that his firm Trian Partners has withheld votes from the CEO, who's also a board nominee. So Trian didn't respond to a request for comment, but the firm clearly feels like it needs to walk a fine line between attacking Disney's board, but not its rather popular CEO. How is the CEO popular? Like, we got Mikey in the chat. Honestly, like, you own.
He is well
Disney stock.
beloved. Like, that's the thing. And this is what I keep trying to remind people about all these folks up until recently with like J.J. Abrams, and you have like, other people that are creative on the side of things. Bob is somebody who's been in the industry and has made friends for the last 50 or plus years, right? Like he knows so many people know him. He is like a godfather in the industry. You don't want to cross the godfather. Because what happens, like this is a guy who has so much power. Like you go by the most powerful people in Hollywood. A lot of them work at Disney, between Kathleen Kennedy and Bob Iger alone. So, I mean, I kind of understand his strategy here, but at the same time, to me, this is where he's waffling a bit, and he should have just stayed steady the way he was going and calling Bob. Yeah, calling Bob to task. Like, no, like seriously, he is the main issue, Nelson. Like, you need to key in on Bob for a reason. Because Disney itself, yes, that is the end goal. But what is the core of the problem? The core of the problem is Bob. The core of the problem is Bob's politics. The core of the problem is what Bob is allowing to happen. Exactly, politician. As Mikey's saying here, Iger is a politician who spent a ton of his time going to events with Wall Street and Hollywood, such as he placed himself like a Gavin Newsom to the demo party, except similar. Exactly. He has all the connections. And to the nerds on Wall Street, Bob Iger is Mr. Cool Guy of Hollywood. Exactly. And you got to remember, this is the guy who bought Marvel and Star Wars and all these other things. And so he's good at buying things. They don't understand yet from a cultural and entertainment point of view, how we're starving for decent entertainment. And Disney is the number one ground zero for literally saying, no, F you, we're not going to give you what you want. We're going to give you what we feel like you need. Right. And that is the problem. When almost every other studio has seemingly gone the complete opposite direction, they're the only ones who are holding on to this, like for deal life. Like I've talked about the last re for a while. Bob is the source of the re, right? He is one of the people who has facilitated this from the start. Whether he was one of the original people who came up with it doesn't matter. He backed it, and it's his it's his power now that everybody's on the side of, because that's why George sided with him. That's why all these other people sided with him, regardless, is relationships and all this other bullshit that has to do with money.
Can I push back for just a moment? Because he's taken a couple of Bob's taken a couple of hits lately though. He obviously the ISS hit him, which this is underlined here in the story, but he just got hit again about an hour ago by another proxy advisor. It's something I'm going to be covering it's something I'm going to be covering tomorrow in the video that I'm dropping tomorrow. So there's other stuff going on here. This is as far as the number of proxy votes that are outstanding that are going to lean towards Disney, they're still going to take a significant hit, and if Disney continues to perform poorly, the credibility of those that voted the other way, or anybody that like sided with Bob, is going to be severely severely drawn into question. So it's going to be heartbreaking for people like Mike and I, when this vote comes up short, but it's going to be exposed for what it is, and that there wasn't really as much support. This is not a super majority. It's not a mandate that Iger's going to get the kind of mandate support that he will be able to continue to rule with an iron fist like every other celebrated dictator on the planet.
Yeah. And no, I mean, I'm on Nelson's side, right? Don't get me wrong, but I feel like this whole I'm not going after Bob, I'm going after Disney was a bad stance to take.
Yeah.
Because at this point, you've already positioned yourself in this way. And then as far as the other bit, I mean, not to move past that, but like, the Black Panther and what's the other one he mentioned? Captain Marvel or the Marvels? Like, was the Marvels? Okay. Because he mentioned those, and then like Disney's response to it wasn't it culture that there's white people and men in those movies. It's like, yeah, we know what we mean. You know what we mean.
Yeah, no,
it's come on.
Very, very disingenuous. And what's funny is that attack and the allies that they have at Reuters and AP and stuff who were covering it in a very slanted way, kind of drew the attention to the fact that the business people are paying attention to the contents of the things that you're releasing, and they're being exposed. And if other investors are starting to hear, well, wait a minute, so this isn't selling well. That's the problem. Is it even if they try to cast Peltz as a racist, which they're not going to do a very good job of.
They have been trying, yes.
Yeah.
Just for context, because we haven't actually said what he said. So he said,
sure.
People go to watch a movie or a show to be entertained. They don't go to get a message. Why do I have to have a Marvel movie that's all women? Not that I have anything against women, but why do I have to do that? Why can't I have Marvels that are both? Why do I need an all-black cast? Which is not wrong. I mean, there's nothing wrong with asking why do I have to have an all-black cast? He's not saying that.
Well, and he should have brought up some examples too, right? He should have been more specific. He should have been like, look at how he's like, yeah, Black Panther did great, but as soon as you didn't recast, T'Challa, what happened to the sequel? It made almost half as much as the first movie. Look at the Marvels, same thing. You shoved more women into this movie that was already pro-women in the first place. What happened? That movie made a third of the original film culture, less than that. And then you look at,
I don't think it even made a third, but yeah.
And then bring up a Marvel adjacent film, the Madam Web, which is the joke of the town right now.
Well, what more proof? Look at the response. They sent a letter to shareholders titled "Oh Nelson," fucking stupid thing. It says "Oh Nelson," reference the Marvel quotes as well as a statement in the article, and says, "What sense is being a billionaire if you're not a bully?" He's not being a bully.
Yeah, there's actually a concerted effort now to go after Peltz, and this is where I said I think it's a mistake for him to back down from Bob. Now is the time where you double down on Bob.
I think again, it just show the point that they don't want anybody outside of the yes men in this company right now because they don't want to lose control of the culture.
Make fun of the fact that the weatherman can't see the weather coming, right? Like that's what you got to do. You got to make him look tiny. You got to make him look like he doesn't know what he's doing because he doesn't.
Look, $200 million is all the Marvels made worldwide. That's it. It's
so that's not even a third then. Yeah, because the first Marvels did what
to get there.
$1.5 billion, I think it was, $1.05 billion.
Yeah, I mean, technically it's 224,000 short of 200 million. That's how sad that film is. I mean, it's embarrassingly bad.
Actually, it's more of a tenth almost, isn't it?
Well, tenth, did it make 1.9 billion?
First one I think was, let me look here.
1.13 or something. I don't know. You're gonna make me look.
I'm looking. Captain Marvel did 1.128 billion.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. Well,
yep.
So yeah, that's the case. I mean, it's terrible. It's
so like 6 or 7. Yeah. Anyway,
and it's bad.
Well, I mean, it's funny because in the article that they say here, they always like to bring this up. So in Iger's memoir, he brings up about Marvel leadership Perlmutter. And basically, Iger wrote that one of the leaders of the Marvel team in New York, run by Perlmutter, told him female superheroes never drive big box office, but Iger decided to move forward. I called Iger and told him to tell his team to stop putting up roadblocks and ordered that we put both Black Panther and Captain Marvel into production. Right, but all female superhero movies don't make money. Actually, we've evidenced that now. Generally speaking, there's more losses than there are profits. The Marvels bombed, right? That absolutely bombed. Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey, that absolutely bombed. And it's not because men don't go and watch it, because women don't go and watch it. So Ike Perlmutter was right in saying that, and part of his team was right in saying that female superheroes don't drive box office. They don't drive box office. They just don't. Now, you can say Black Panther drove box office. Sure. The second one didn't do that well.
No. And you could chalk it up to one or two things. And that was the point I was making. He could have just pointed out that, Black Panther 2 did horrible because why? You didn't have the Black Panther character in it. Even.
Yeah.
Right? You had a bunch of women instead. Like, I mean, and again, we're not trying to beat on women here or anything like that. That was a poor choice of words, but it's the point is, like you guys just said, these guys are just simply saying the simple facts. You took a boy's property, as we've been saying for so long now, and you made it a girl's property, and you've alienated your core audience, and you're trying to call those who are just trying to point it out nothing but bullies and every other name in the book. In fact, Campia was out there today championing that Nelson Peltz is nothing but a racist bigot, whatever it was. I got a list of names here.
Fucking idiot. He really is an idiot. I'd love to have.
I know. I need to make a what stupid shit he said this week.
Oh yeah. Well, here's some of the things
he honestly says more stupid shit than Grace Randolph.
He called.
You're not wrong.
He called Peltz today when he was talking. He said he's a moron, racist, misogynist. So he went to the whole playbook of language there.
Back it up, mate. You wouldn't be able to back it up.
Yeah.
We need to start farming him for
and
he's a walking meme.
Yeah, his name for Peltz today was a brainchild nutfucker, a moron, a nipple pimple, a dick zit, and shriveled up bag of racist bigot.
Well, I'm surprised.
Yeah, that's what I got too.
I'm surprised he could say all of that with all that black dick in his mouth.
Ooh.
Anyway,
that's the vibe he's giving off, isn't it? He's just sucking them bloody dicks all day long. Like, what?
Look at the penis.
Hoping so hard for it, mate. It's so bizarre.
Well,
it's so bizarre.
I mean, you're suggesting
Campia is definition corporate shill when it comes to Hollywood because he is so deathly afraid of losing any of his access. So he will shill so hard.
Well,
like, this is the guy that called us a bunch of basement dwelling mother humpers over Ghostbusters 2016. Never forget.
Well, Mikey's saying here, Campia did more than insult Peltz. He also called all of us that support Peltz morons. He called all of us that Campia equals Darth Retardus. Love that.
If he actually had any credit, then that actually hurt my feelings. But yeah,
he lost all public support. I mean, he's been revealed as a shill for he's been revealed as a shill for quite some time now. So his credibility's out the window. So it is what it is. At least with Grace, we know what we're going to get. With him, he's just an unhinged lunatic.
Well, Grace is just stupid. Campia's trying to be calculated with the comments he makes.
It doesn't work.
That's the difference, right? Grace is just dumb. Campia is trying to, like he has thought behind it. It's not good thoughts, but it's still a thought.
Yeah, no, he's clearly motivated. Like I think you're right. I think Grace is just kind of a dim bulb. Like sometimes she'll pander to certain things, but her pandering has more to do with she's clearly just a woke individual, not so much a Hollywood shill. Although she will be a MCU Disney shill hard sometimes, but
true.
More so Campia. Like Campia, he doesn't even hide it. It's like he wears it around his neck like a bow tie, and he's proud of it.
Yeah. Well, there you go. It'll be fascinating to watch next week. We will see more developing next week. It'll be on Thursday. We'll cover it on Thursday, won't we? So
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. Anyway, we got a super chat here from Nelson Peltz himself. Sent a dollar. Nelson, mate, you can afford more than $1 super chat. All right. Anyway, Nelson Peltz says, "Put Sydney Sweeney's boobs in it and make it rain."
That's right.
If it wasn't for the comment, I would have thought that wasn't Nelson Peltz, but Michael Eisner, that cheap bastard. Did you guys see that picture where he was literally giving the valet guy 2 5s? I'm like, you were the president of Disney for 30 some plus years or whatever it was. You can give this guy a $20 bill.
You don't get rich by spending money.
I know, but that's bullshit. Mike's a little pincher. He's a pincher.